Good morning, sweethearts. How y'all doing? Big hugs and blessings. Happy Tuesday. There is a lot of intense energies coming in. A lot of graceful energies coming in. Tonight is early in the morning. There is the new moon, what is referred to as the dark moon. And this is, and many are already feeling it, but this is, look at, they're all coming back again. Condors, vultures, and it's triggering, sweethearts. These intense emotions are coming up, but this is triggering all that which was presented and triggered at the total solar eclipse new moon a month ago. And wow, they're just going more and more. Oh, look at a hummingbird. And if you can see that what appears as clouds, a whole lot of ships passing through. And you can tell that they're ships because you can see through them. Well, some of us can see through them. Anyways, so as you observe what is being triggered, these intense emotions these intense energies that are bringing up some intense emotions, if you will, is that which was literally triggered at the total solar eclipse. It was brought up. And now, thank you, Sanjay. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Sanjay. Big hugs and blessings, sweet ones. And so, if you can observe what was triggered back around right before, during, and after the total solar eclipse. Good morning, Bonnie. Big hugs and blessings, beautiful. You will be able to observe and see that which you're resisting. And really, sweet ones, that which is being presented and that which was activated and triggered. Good morning, Brad. How you doing, sweetheart? Bethany, Chucks, big hugs and blessings. You're going to see that it is the one thing that you have resisted the most, or a couple things, if you will, that you have resisted facing, confronting, dealing with, whatever label you'd like to give it, sweethearts. And it's really triggering that self-deception. And what do I mean when I say self-deception? You know, all those things that those really deep core beliefs and wounds and issues. Look, you got a trinity of them right here going in a circle. And that you just really don't want to look at. You know, when I say self-deception, there is some aspects within ourselves that cut to the core more than others. And you have healed so much and transformed so much on your journeys that really, the higher you evolve to, again, the more closer, if you will, the deeper you go to your original template, deeper into your soul. And right now, really, if you can observe what is being presented, what is being triggered, it literally is those core wounds, those last really deep core things that tie into, I thought I dealt with this, why am I dealing with it again? And it seems like your whole journey, you have dealt with this one particular thing amongst other things, and you can never quite grasp why it's not cleared, why you consistently go through it. Again, you know, I tried explaining it one time that every experience is tied into abandonment, rejection, unworthiness, undeserving. Well, I put that in the same category as unworthiness. And it can all be tied into trust. And that deliberately comes back, purposefully comes back. Good morning, Sarwan, Pamela, and Lily and Lorraine. Anybody else I miss, big hugs and blessings, sweet ones. And that literally, to all of it, all of your experiences, tie into the very core issue, which is what is coming up right now. And that very core issue is wrapped around trust and unworthiness. And the reason why it is because when we incarnated, we chose to veil ourselves. And the second we chose to veil ourselves, we automatically put ourselves in a space of abandonment, rejection, and unworthiness. And that has been, which the core issue under all those things is trust. And that is what's coming up. Those very core issues, because you've dealt with all the ripples, if you will. You know, you've healed them and transformed all the ripples. And why this seems to be a little more intense, if that can even be really described as that, but it really seems to be more intense than every other part of your journeys. And that's because you're at the core now. You're at your blueprint. And you're really, literally wiping it clean. And that's leading up through this equinox. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there, you know, about Jesus going to return and this and that and the third. And, you know, I mean, there's so much out there, sweet ones. You know, really go within. People keep asking me, what is so significant about it? In my feelings on the subject, the equinox is the spring equinox and the fall equinox. Really, for myself, mind you, and I validate anything I say within. Don't take my word for nothing. For me, the reason I say it's significant is because not only does the fall equinox represent harvest, if you will, it really represents a grieving period, because we go into a space, if you will, of coming into the winter months. And, well, in the northern hemisphere. But this goes for those who, when they experience it, it's birth and death, if you will. The spring equinox is all about birth and watching it grow, and the fall equinox is watching things die, if you will, and regenerate and harvest, and that's when the sun gets shorter and stuff like that. And so that's where, for me, when I say this is significant, it's just a cycle of birth and death. And yes, in this time, space and time continuum, every one of these are significant. It's also helpful to understand that you are not your zodiac sign. You're all of them. Take, for example, the picture of the Last Supper. You know, those 12 disciples, they too represent, there's so much hidden within the layers, within the layers, within the layers. And those 12 disciples actually represent the 12 zodiac signs as well. And so, you have incarnated as every zodiac sign, and you have been every zodiac sign. And so, are you your zodiac sign of this incarnation? Yes and no. You know, it has influences on you, but that doesn't make it who you are. You know, there's a lot of deception and a lot of distortion in astrology, depending on what calendar you use, this and that and the third, and you know, you have to be able to see beyond it, see through it, and see around it, and to get the full truth or expanded truth of it all. That's why that's the same as why I say that you can't go just on science. You can't go on just physics or quantum physics. You can't go on just spirituality or religion or numerology or astrology. It literally all interconnects if you want a true expanded version. And so I always think of Persephone traveling to the underworld and Demeter's grief as the days grow shorter and darker as the green life wilts and dries. Chucks, I do too. I just wasn't going to bring mythology into it because there's a lot of people that don't resonate with it. But I was thinking about saying that very same thing, Chucks. But I'm trying to be very neutral here. Let me see here. Pamela, I've got a lot of surfacing, finding it hard to work through. I love you too, Teresa. I love all of you. Good morning, Shal. Let's see. Pamela, feeling very alone lately, but I know I'm not just feels that way. Bethany, Mrs. Lady, you are right. Remember, I left my situation while I'm back, and this is dead point on. Oh, I bless you, Bethany. Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Alice. Big hugs and blessings. Good morning, Jamie. And so, sweet ones, it is, right now, that loneliness is very, very prevalent. That you're in a space, many of you are finding yourselves in a space of questioning whether your journey has been worth it. Questioning yourselves in the sense that it seems, even though you've done so much transformation within, so much healing within, it seems right now that it's been for naught, if you will, for many of you. It feels that what you have been guided and told and shown from your spirit and your teams that things would get better, that they seem to be getting worse. And I'm not talking just on the physical plane. I'm talking within, because you feel so alone right now. But again, it really ties into, sweethearts, it ties into now you're at that core. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Nikki, Betty. Big hugs and blessings, sweet ones. And so you're at the core. No longer are you dealing with the ripples, if you will. And you're about to give birth into, you've already given birth, if you will, in the spiritual sense of it. Now that birth is, well, liken it to this. You gave birth, but they're still cleaning the baby and cutting that umbilical cord, and you haven't got to hold that baby in your arms yet. And you're just about to hold that baby in the physical for your very first time. And liken that to this. And it's, you have to allow yourself to be able to see through it, sweet ones. You have to literally get to that space and surrender. And the only way that the human aspect of us can surrender is when we get tired of beating ourselves up. When we get tired to the point that you are so tired, I give up, I surrender, I'm done, Lord, I'm done. Show me the way, take over. And that is the biggest part of control that humanity and each of us on the spiritual journey are facing right now. We like to do things, the human aspect likes to do things the hard way. We just do. And again, there's that polarity. Love is simple, and, fear is complicated. And so, the human aspect wants reasoning, wants logic, wants to, what's the right way to describe this here? It wants to dig until it can make total comprehension, logical comprehension. And love, it don't matter how far you dig, how much logic you apply to it, how much time you spend contemplating what is going on, the mind will never be able to wrap its mind around what love is, because love is. It's not any one thing, it's all inclusive, and it's all exclusive. And so that is where right now, that is really what these energies are presenting, that very core issues of everything wrapping around trust. Because full trust in the Creator and in self is total surrender. And right now, you're dealing with the very core issues of no longer the ripples. You're dealing with the core of the fact that you veiled yourself. And those are the abandonment, rejection, and unworthiness issues and stuff that are being triggered and that are being brought up right now, that were brought up through the total solar eclipse. And it's really helpful to understand, sweet ones, just as much as you can release on this dark moon, if you will. It's a new moon, and that is the greatest place to plant seeds. But this is also a time of great harvest into the physical of so much of what you all have been working for, that you have been transforming, and out of chaos, sweet ones, comes birth. Because look at it like this, maybe. You look at your relationships, and as much love as there is in those intense, beautiful, love, intimate relationships, is the glory of those intense highs and the pleasure of those intense highs. There's also great pain. And it's in that pain that the seeds of love and ecstasy and pleasure is born. And we all know, for those who've been in a relationship of any kind, a romantic relationship, and it don't matter if it's gay, lesbian, transgender, it doesn't matter if it is, between man and man, woman and woman. I mean, it don't matter. And it all comes down to the same thing. After the chaos, when you make up, that love is more intense, and it's more beautiful, and it is more comforting, and it is more nurturing, if you will. When you make up and you come into that space of bliss and you let it go. And that's really where we're at right now. And that bliss and that manifestation of the beauty and the glory of everything we have been doing on this spiritual journey, individually, collectively, galactically, cosmically, planetary, however you want to look at it. It's manifesting now. And we all know that you have to believe in it with all your heart on anything that you attempt to undertake. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in what you're doing in all your heart. And if you think about it, sweethearts, it's in your relationships. How many times when you're a teenager or even in your adult life that I love him, I don't give a shit what you say. I love him or I love her, and we're going to make it work despite you guys all telling us it's not going to work. How many times have you started something in your life? You've had a dream or this or that, and you have had all of this opposition, but you believed in yourself and you believed in what you were doing, that nothing can detour you. And that's where we're at right now. It don't matter. They can throw whatever they want at us. They can attempt to manipulate whatever they want at us. But it comes down to this, sweet ones. Faith is the truth, the trust you behold, and that trust is it. How much do you trust in the Creator? How much do you trust in yourself? And how much are you willing to surrender and give to that faith of the trust you behold? Because really, with love, look at your journeys, look at your lives, sweet ones. You have given it all, you have sacrificed it all, you have done whatever it takes to try to save something, hang on to it, change it, make it more beautiful. And that's where we're at right now. It is always right before the miracles that you want to give up. It is right at that space of you're tired, that you're done, that you want to give up, that the glory of the Creator steps in and carries you through over the finish line. And that's where we're at right now, sweethearts. So as these energies get triggered again through this dark new moon, plant your seeds, focus. It's really helpful to focus on the feeling, on the joy that it brings you rather than what the surface is presenting. When you find yourself emotional and intense, yes, we say to breathe, yes, we say to ground, but really take a moment and to go within and not focus on the issue, but focus on the feeling. How does it make you feel to be in a relationship, sweet ones? Think about this. How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel not to be in a relationship? When you are not in union in a relationship, our natural state of being is in union. But you have to come to the space and understanding that you are never alone within, truly, before you can know without a shadow of a doubt that you are not alone. And that way you're not going into a relationship with those attachments. Now, if you can focus on the feelings of what you want, how does it make you feel to be in a relationship? How does it make you feel to be doing that job or that project or that creative thing that you want to do? How does it make you feel not to? And when you can figure out what makes you not happy, you're going to discover, it's much easier to discover what brings you joy. For myself, I'll give you an example, and I'll use myself. The loneliness for myself, for the human aspect of myself, gets very overwhelming at times. And I really have to go into myself and sit there and say, okay, why am I lonely? What would take that loneliness away? And again, it all comes down to relationship and union. And so I put myself in a space of the feeling of it. If I'm feeling down, if I'm feeling lonely, if I'm feeling abandoned or rejected, whatever it may be, I just sit there and I visualize myself. I take myself into that space of I feel joy. I feel peace. It feels comforting. It feels delicious. I take myself into the space of what I'm missing, what I'm feeling lonely about. And it's like, okay, I'm feeling lonely because in this physical world I'm alone. And, it would be nice to have a hug, or yes, you have that energetic connection with yourself, with your team, and your divine consort. And it gets to a point, and many of you are at this point right now, where you don't want to just feel the energetic connection, you want to be able to touch that energetic connection. And so you come into that space, and that loneliness and that aching and that longing is very prevalent right now for many of you, for many of us. And because it's here, you can feel it, and so you really take yourself into that feeling of, instead of I'm lonely, instead of this, I feel into the feelings of it. What does it feel like if you were in that union right here, right now? I feel serenity. I feel comfort. It feels real. It feels lovely. It feels tranquil. It feels, whatever you need to bring that feeling and that focus into the feeling versus the feeling of sadness, the feeling of loneliness. And when you can focus on the feeling, It takes 68 seconds. Well, it takes 17 seconds to plant a seed with your thoughts and your emotions and your feelings, your frequency, if you will. It takes 68 seconds to anchor it into manifestation. And so when you can take yourself out of that feeling of loneliness and change it to that feeling of, I feel heavenly, I feel complete, I feel serenity, I feel peacefulness, it feels comforting, it feels nurturing, it feels, and focus on that feeling, and the more you repeat it out loud so your conscious mind can hear it along with your subconscious mind, if you will find that if you can repeat that list out loud, it feels this way. I feel happy. I feel, I feel joy. I feel blissful. It feels intimate, and, and you say that over and over, you will find that you really bring yourself into that space of feeling, and that becomes your focus, and that will take you out of the funk. That will take you out of that space of lack, if you will. And really, all lack comes down to, sweet ones, when again, and that's something that's being brought up right now, is that lack directly ties into when you veiled yourself, that abandonment, that rejection, and that unworthiness. And when you can feel into it, when you're feeling lack, when you can sit there and put yourself in whatever space you need to be in so you're able to feel, I feel abundant, I feel magical, it feels whatever it is to get you out of that space of lack. And the more you can allow yourselves to feel rather than think, to feel regardless of how outlandish, outrageous, or crazy, whatever it may be, that the outside world would like to say, when you can feel into it, that's how you create and manifest it into this outside world. And that is what these energies are really bringing up, is those last core issues of wiping that aspect of that part of your motherboard out, that artificial intelligence. And so really allow yourselves to be present with it. Find the magic if you can, because there is magic and beauty and love in everything, in every experience, in every moment. And when you can come into that space of gratitude for the experience, gratitude for the feeling, gratitude for the logic trying to be logical, and stop looking at it from a space of pain and hurt and something being done to you, and and really just every time those come up, observe them and really put yourself into that feeling of bliss. And you're going to find when you do, and you can take yourself out of the victimization mode and frequency, you're going to find the solutions to anything and everything will come much more graceful. When you take the step to meet the Creator will meet you way more than halfway. That's how powerful you are, and that's how powerful we are. So really allow yourselves to release what needs to be released, to plant seeds of pleasure, and know, out of chaos, out of something challenging, out of every experience, there comes the miracle of birth. There comes something good. Always. There comes something miraculous. We just have to be willing to see it. And that's the beauty of it. Chucks, when you're by yourself, you don't got to deal with nobody else's whining crap or demands on your time and attention. I don't know. I don't know about that, Chucks. I think we deal with enough of our own whining and demands on our time and attention. I think we whine and that whining crap demands on our own time and attention. I think we're worse than anybody else at it. Nah, let's see. I love you guys. And we got this hand in hand, side by side. And when you can just know, faith is the truth of the trust we behold. For myself, I have great faith and trust in the Creator. And I have absolute faith and trust in the Creator as myself. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Oh, Betty, I have fallen totally and completely in love with the crystal you sent me. Thank you again. Oh, you're most welcome. The next batch will go out at the beginning of the month, sweet ones. And I'm still trying to figure out with my angel how to get it all worked out. But really, this isn't about me sending it out. We're all into this together. And I'm really trying to put it together for universal brothers and sisters in all of us. And because really this isn't Linda sending out, oh look there's a rooster, a wild rooster that hasn't been here before. Check that out. Sorry, I got distracted. It's literally running down the road, and it just kind of surprised me. I've seen them wander around the yards. I've never literally seen a rooster run down the road like that. It just caught me off guard. The other day, there was a Pumbaa in the Lion King. What are they? Wild boars, and they're all around here. And two of them came into my yard the other day, into our little community area back here right behind my yard, and a black one and a reddish brown one. And they really are cute in person. I've never seen I've seen Pumbaa on the Lion King. But I'm telling you, it was one was a male and one was a female, and I'm telling you, they really are cute. My dogs went crazy, but they really are cute. So have a magical day, sweet ones, and it's going to get intense if it isn't already, and, we got this. Just love our way through it. It's a kickin' chicken. I love you, Chucks. I love you all. Roosters have great symbolism, too, along with the condors that are flying all around and have been. Heaven is here, sweet ones. Paradise is here. Y'all feel it, y'all know it, and right now it's manifesting into the physical. And that is the glory of the moment. I love you, sweet ones. Big, big hugs and blessings. I'm here for you. If you need to, reach out. Have a magical, magical day. Bye-bye now.